What we need to be thinking about is how we can live our dream life now, how we can live it today. This video will help you make some better decisions and figure a few things out, which will get you from a position of living for tomorrow to actually living today. Because we can dream and dream, but if we don't take a step, we don't take action, then it is simply a dream. But we want to get our dream here. We want to bring it to us today or tomorrow morning. We live in a society or a reality which has us worrying about tomorrow, right? So we have to plan for tomorrow. We have to plan for next week. We have to plan what we're going to do when we're 30, 40, 50, and eventually when we retire, if we get to retirement. Most people, their dream retirement never actually materializes because our perception of the world around us very rarely actually matches up with the reality of it. We live in the real world, okay? I live in the real world. You folks live in the real world. That means that we have bank accounts, we have cash, cards, we have to live somewhere. So that means having a mortgage. It means paying rent. We have to think about retirement, like I've just mentioned. So that might mean a pension. It means thinking about investments, savings, and this isn't a financial channel. I'm just highlighting everything that we have to think about. And you have to think about all of this stuff, whether you like it or not, because we all live in the real world and most of us don't have trust funds. Most of us don't have rich grandparents. So we have to align ourselves with reality because we do all live in reality, which we decode through our senses. And my reality is going to be different to your reality. Your reality is different to your siblings, the person that lives next door, and your friends, because we can only perceive reality through our own perception, through our own consciousness. So, yeah, we have all these things that we have to worry about: savings, money, the future. A good way of describing that is imagine playing a football match or any sports game, soccer, kickball, football, basketball, and you go out as a team and you're kicking the ball around and you pass it to each other, you're keeping possession of the ball, you're not really attacking, you're not trying to score a goal, you're not taking any risks, you're not putting into play the tactics that you've gone through and that you prepared for. You're just taking it easy, you're coasting, you're just kicking it around for an hour and a half, then the game's over. And then next week you have another game and you had this great idea that, yep, next game we're going to attack, we're going to pass, we're going to run down the sides, down the wings, attack the goal. The next game comes and goes and no one even took a shot. No one even tried to score. So a lot of us find ourselves in a position where that's our life. Tomorrow, something better is always coming tomorrow. Next week, don't worry, I'm not going to do it today, I'm going to do it next week. That person you want to ask out, no, I'll do it next time I see her, or next time I see him, I didn't feel like it today. Have you applied for that job yet? What about your dream career, that thing that you just want to do, which will be like you're not working because you love it so much? No, that's okay. Next year will come. I'll apply for that course next year. So we find ourselves in a position where we're playing for tomorrow, but tomorrow never actually comes. So we're living the next week, we're living the next month, because we have all of these fears, worries, doubts, hurdles, and that's linked to pensions, how much money we make, what we spend it on, how much money we have saved, because we need money to live and to buy things and to do stuff. So if we're always playing for tomorrow, we find life has passed by. What we'll find is that life may pass by really quickly because you're always waiting for something to happen. But you need to instigate a step and a change so that whatever it is you want to happen will actually happen, rather than just playing it safe, keeping it cool. Don't worry, we'll do that tomorrow. But that's not to say that you have to be irresponsible. If somebody gave you $1,000 now, I'm not saying go out and buy crypto with it, because crypto can go up, but it can also go down. Same with any investment. I'm not saying go and blow it on a trip somewhere and then in a week's time, you've got nothing to show for it. There's a balance between being risk adverse and sensible and irresponsible. But at the same time, there's a balance between living our lives now, living our dream life now, how you can live your dream life today, rather than waiting for the dream to happen in the future. We need to bring the dream to us today so that we can live our best life now, because there might not be a next week. We live in a topsy-turvy world where anything can happen. In 2020, a lot of people would have been really looking forward to 2020. But then all of a sudden, this thing came on the world, begins with an L and it ends with a down, and it's not the low down. And all of a sudden, a lot of people's worlds were 180'd. And it was like, well, hang on a second, I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't go to school and work hard and try hard and get qualifications and get this job. And now this is my life. So we don't know what's around the corner. So we have to take time and make the time to be happy now so that we can live our life now and create our dreams now, rather than thinking that they're going to happen tomorrow or some point in the future. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. Now, our soul knows the truth, and our soul knows the path that it wants to go on. And your soul and your energetic center, what's inside of you, knows the truth, and it knows where it wants to be, and it knows what path and stepping stone is laid out for it. But we get to choose what path we take. Some of us may believe that our fates and our paths are predetermined, and that could be possible. But at the same time, there are multiple versions of your future self all out there running simultaneously. If you think about a decision that you've made in your past, could have been last week, could have been 10 years ago, that decision has got you to where you are now. Watching this video, it might have been somebody asked you if you wanted to go out this afternoon and you said no. So instead, you've ended up watching this video. Had you said, yeah, I'm going to go out to the cinema, to a restaurant, and then you go on YouTube later, the algorithm might have shown you a different video. So fate or synchronicity has got you watching this now. And that kind of sounds a bit perplexing, far out there, or a bit far-fetched. But if you really think about it, it's like whatever it is you're doing now, whoever you're with, however you're living your life, started from a decision and a choice, and the choice led you to where you are. If you'd made a different choice, it'd have put you on a different path. But it's important to note that whatever path you're currently on, you can always change paths. Paths aren't set in stone. We can always U-turn, and we can always divert and reset and take a new path. The path you're on now doesn't have to be the path where you're going to end up. You can make a change, and we can make a choice, because there are multiple versions of your present self, your current self out there. You just need to jump into whichever person you want to be, whichever future you want. And we can do that by not playing or waiting for tomorrow. You can realize your dreams now. It might be you want to travel somewhere. Start thinking about it. Go on some travel websites, read some blogs, do some research into what it is you want to, where it is you want to go, how you're going to get there. If you put enough thought into it, at some point in the future, an opportunity will come up so that you get to go there. Don't worry too much about what the opportunity is or how it's going to arise. Just know that it will happen. That leads us to not worrying too much about tomorrow, because whatever will be, whatever choices we make and decisions we make will lead us to wherever we end up. Is that fate? Is that predetermined? That's up to you to decide. But if you can imagine and believe that there are multiple outcomes, a bit like if you have a test and there's multiple choice questions, you choose A, B, C, or D. Decisions that you make today and tomorrow, there's any answer and there's no right or wrong answer. You can choose A, B, C, or D. Depending on which answer you choose, there'll be a different outcome. If in 6 months' time you don't like the outcome, well, then it's okay. we'll ask ourselves the question again and we'll choose a different answer. And a different answer will create a new reality and a new path and a new future for you. Everything can always be undone and it can be reset. Let's not worry too much about things being set in stone, or the position or situation you're in now means that that's the position or situation that you're going to have to be doing and accepting for the rest of your life. Our energetic self, our center, our energy, it knows the truth, and it knows what it wants, and it knows the outcome. It knows the outcome. We've just become disconnected so that it makes it difficult for us to see what the future holds and what the outcome is. So we need to alleviate our fears, worries, and doubts, because if we're hung up on fears, worries, and doubts, it affects our ability to make decisions, and decisions which can really change your life to get you from A to Z, the last point on the map. How you get there, it doesn't matter, just know you're going to get there. So it is possible to live your dream life now. You just need to think about steps and shifts that you can initiate to do it. My dream life is different to your dream life. Due to our perception, our perceptions differ. Mine is different to yours. Yours is different to the next person. And that's all right, because we're all human beings. We all have an inside, and my inside's telling me one thing. Your inside's telling you something else. Some of the things that I've said, you might not agree with, but what we can all agree is that we have an inside, and it is trying to guide you at all times. It's like your body being inside a room which is dark, but inside you're always glowing. So you will always find a way, no matter what it is you're doing and however it is that you end up. Remember, our paths can change. Whatever path you're on now, you get to the end of the road and there's a street sign saying turn left, turn right. You can make another decision. And also always remember that your soul wants the easiest route. It's like water flowing downhill. It's like water flowing downhill. It will naturally find the simplest and easiest route to wherever it is it's trying to go. Your soul wants the easiest route. It doesn't want to toil, and it doesn't want hardship. It definitely doesn't want to suffer. So just remember that as long as you're in tune with your insides, with your soul, with your body and mind, and your energetic center, and whatever is inside your heart, then everything will be okay. Everything will be okay, and everything will work out. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again.